Hi y'all, Magical Rapunzel here, and I'm sitting down with you today to go over some hair care and tips and talk about why I would encourage young girls or ladies, women, any age, to have very long hair like I do. But first we're going to go over the hair care and tips, and I've taken notes on my phone here so you'll see me kind of going through that. I wanted to make sure I hit a lot of points with you. Probably the number one thing that is kind of a must if you want to have long hair is patience. You absolutely have to have patience. And I'm talking patience when it comes to washing your hair, taking care of your hair. It takes me a good 45 minutes to an hour in the shower to fully get the shampoo in, fully rinse it out, get the conditioner in, rinse that out. And I have very thick hair, so if you don't have really thick hair, you may not need as long. But for me, it takes a while. Of course, it takes patience when it comes to brushing all of this out, working all the knots out or tangles that you get, styling it. Patience, patience, patience is probably the number one thing to stress here. Number two, and this one is very, very important. No products, no chemicals, no heat. Especially stress the products and chemicals, and that goes for, you know, no mousse, no hairspray, no dyeing your hair, especially in bleaching. Oh my God, that will destroy your hair quicker than anything. And I know because I used to do that. I ended up cutting, I had long hair, cut it to here, let all that dye stuff grow out and just kept cutting it, and now everything I have is completely natural. I don't use products on it. Every now and then I'll let a hairstylist use some products if I'm doing a photo shoot of something of the sort, but I myself don't use any products. Now the one thing I will use is for heat, is to dry my hair, and that's because I live in a climate where during the winter time it gets very cold. And of course, you don't want to be going outside with wet hair in cold temperatures. You will get sick that way. So that's the one thing. However, there's a trick to that. There are a few tricks. You don't want to use high heat, so try to keep it on the warm or cool settings. I'll usually start on warm just because I'm cold, so I want that warmth. And then I'll end it on a cool setting to kind of bring it back down. The other big tip for you is to use a very specific hair dryer that has tourmaline titanium. There are tourmaline titanium hair dryers out there. They actually create negative ions, which are very good for your hair and health in general, but very good for your hair. It basically solidifies the moisture in your hair, so it's not drying it out so much. It's wonderful. So if you don't have one of those kind of hair dryers, you can easily find them pretty much anywhere. So look for a tourmaline titanium hairdryer. Now, the third point that I would like to mention is a balanced diet. So I'm talking vitamins, supplements. Make sure you're getting a good balance of everything, whether it's calcium, vitamins, zinc, iron, all of that stuff. You want to make sure you're not lacking in anything, because that's going to cause problems for you no matter what it is. Omega-3, 6, and 9 are amazing for your hair, your skin, your nails, especially your hair. So, and you can get supplements that are like natural fish oils for omega-3, 6, and 9, but you want to balance that. You don't want to do just the 3s or the 6s or the 9s. You want to balance with all three. And as far as food goes, lots of fish. I eat tuna, salmon, any kind of fish I can get my hands on pretty much, like 3 to 6 times a week at least. And that's just your natural way of getting those fish oils, those omegas, okay? Fruit, there's a lot of fruit out there. It's full of antioxidants that are great for you. And then your veggies. So you want to get a good balanced diet between a fish, fruit, and veggies are the 3 things I would absolutely recommend when it comes to food consumption. Now, the fourth point that I have for you, stay hydrated. Drink lots of water. I am crazy about drinking water. I carry water with me everywhere I go, okay? I also live in a climate that's very dry, so I need even more water than usual. But water, stay hydrated, that will keep your hair hydrated. You know, you are what you eat. So good food, lots of water, natural juices, those are good for you as well. So anything like that is gonna be good for you and help your hair to grow and be healthy, basically. Now, point number 6 that I stress very much, I kind of have a little order for you here, is do not brush your hair wet. Do not brush your hair when it's wet. You will break it and you will cause lots of damage to it. So when it comes to washing your hair, brush your hair before you wash it. Then let your hair dry completely. And whether you're air drying it or you're drying it with a dryer, let your hair dry completely. And then try to work out as many knots, especially the big knots, as you can with your fingers, okay? Work those out with your fingers. And then move on to using a hairbrush. This is a big point where that patience comes back in, okay? Now, speaking of hairbrushes, there's again a more specific hairbrush I would suggest you use, and that's tourmaline hairbrush with boar bristles. The tourmaline creates the negative ions that are so good for your hair, and the boar bristles are natural, and they will, as you're brushing your hair down, they will take the oils from your scalp, your natural oils, and move them down throughout your hair so that your hair isn't so dry and brittle, okay? Using your own natural oils is always a really good idea. Now, speaking of oils, I also suggest that you oil your hair every so often. And there's so many different types of oils out there. Coconut oil, argan oil, avocado oil, keratin oil, and there's a long, long list of all the different oils. So many oils that you can choose from and use, and that is really going to depend on your hair type, your specific hair type, what kind of oils you want to use. So just get some stuff and start trying it and see what works for you, okay? Now, the next tip I have, if you're really wanting to grow your hair, is to trim your hair every 3 to 6 months. And that's again going to depend on how fast your hair grows, whether you want to do it every 3 months or every 6 months. But if you want to encourage it to keep growing and growing, you do want to keep it trimmed. I have not trimmed my hair in 7 years now, and I'll show you the difference. Like, you can see the difference. There's not a clean cut line. It comes to a point, a very natural tip point, and I love that, to be honest with you. And I really wasn't looking for my hair to grow any longer. It's already knee length at this point, and it keeps growing still, even without me trimming it. So that goes to show that my diet and just staying hydrated really well works. I don't even have to trim my hair and it's growing, but I can tell you, I have noticed a huge difference in how fast it grows by not trimming my hair. It is growing a lot slower by me not trimming my hair now. So definitely that's a good point. Now, point number 10 that I would like to make is to get good sleep. Get good sleep, okay? Get your rest. And getting good rest is going to affect you in so many ways, and I'm pretty sure this is pretty well known at this point that if you don't get adequate sleep, it stresses your body out, and it'll stress your body out in many ways. It might show up as acne on your face. It might show up as dry, brittle hair, or that's breaking, or maybe falling out every time you brush it. You just have clumps falling out. Stress can do so many horrible things to the body and the mind. So that's something you absolutely want to make sure you're getting good rest. And just to kind of wrap up this whole video, the reason I would encourage women, girls, ladies of any age to grow long hair, I have always thought long hair is just very classy, and it really is. long hair is just very classy. And I can't tell you how many times I have had random guys stop me in a store or a shop or on the sidewalk and just tell me how much they appreciate my long hair and how beautiful it is. Here in America, where I'm located, it's not as popular anymore for women to have really long hair. There are other countries where it is, but in America that's not the case. So they appreciate that. They appreciate seeing a lady that's taken the time to grow her hair long and keep it nice. Now something else that's a really big bonus is that you can do so much stuff with your hair when you have long hair. There's so many different hairstyles and like updos and things that you can do with long hair that women with short hair simply just can't do. So there's a couple of bonus tips there for you. And I'll be talking a little bit more about dry hair damage in another video. I'll go into the oils and the hair dryer and the brush and actually show those things in another video. So look for that if that's something that you're interested in. All right, it was great talking to you all and having a sit down chat, and I'll see you next time. Bye.